Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix Podcast live show. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
Hey everybody, what's going on? There's an NVIDIA Studio driver available. That's
Right
not
now?
news.
Sweet.
That's just. Maybe I should install it midstream. Think that'll go
That would, yeah, that wouldn't ruin anything.
well? Sorry, that would. Yeah, that's the show. Yeah, I cannot help
Sometimes we have things on our screen.
anything that pops up on my screen, I will read it.
Yeah.
We're
Especially your comments, viewer.
Especially
Oh,
your
yeah.
comments. Get in those comment sections on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. Get there.
Do the things. Share it with your friends. Make them tell us things that we'll read too.
Share it with your enemies.
Yeah. Especially your enemies.
Yeah.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
And by closer we mean share Grawlix podcast with them.
Yeah, do it.
So, hey, we're back last week. Well, we were here, but we had youngins. We had children on the show.
Yeah, I wasn't here, but I was still here.
Melanie was here.
I was here. I was just somewhere else where I was here.
I'm a professional. So we touched on something we're going to talk about tonight. I guess our feature topic tonight will be the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special because Jesse has seen it, so we can all talk about it. And then, of course, a couple other things. There's some Doctor Who news, some Who news.
So we're going to talk for at least half an hour on that.
Right. Easily. Yeah, and that's it. So, but before all of that, hey, you two.
Hey.
How's it going?
Going well?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Yeah. Living the dream. The American dream, I think.
I mean,
Wait, was this the American dream?
it's the American dream that people are dreaming.
Yep.
The American dream is to become the richest man on earth and to buy your own social network so that everyone can hear your crackpot theories, and then you can disrupt the media and save the Constitution by publishing that social media hidden files. It's earth-shattering.
Yep, and putting beds in your office place so that you can have sleepovers with your workers because you don't have any friends.
Well, I hadn't even thought about it from that perspective. You think that's kind of a...
I don't know.
It's not that he wants to work them that hard. It's just like he's really lonely.
I mean, probably.
No, guys, we're pals, right?
Listen,
You
for
won't
a
even
couple-
have to go home and just all hang out. It's great.
Guys, I'm feeling very sensitive this right now. For a day or two last week, I was only the second richest man on earth.
I'm an Elon Husk of my former self.
Mm.
Did you hear Holly?
No.
She couldn't contain the groan.
That was a good one, though. That's approved. I approve of that. This is not the Elon Musk show, but we can't help ourselves talking about some of that stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
It's such a dumpster fire.
it is.
I locked down a lot of the accounts that I had over there because I had, too many to begin with. I deleted one or two. Like, I don't know, I had EMG radio and EMG and EMC and all kinds of things. I had a Twitter account for a YouTube channel that I'm not active on anymore. Like, so I deleted some of those, and then I locked down a bunch. I locked down my personal one, and just like, because I'm not on it. Like, and you know what sucks is because just before the mudslide that is Twitter, currently, it's always a little bit of a mudslide. It kind of had become my go-to social network. I was on there all the time on my Super Science profile, but
A lot of people are kind of bummed about this, because it was like I don't know, like the last place they were ready to leave kind of thing.
right, and it wasn't owned by Facebook yet, and it wasn't
Right.
owned by Google. And,
They seem to have some kind of morals once in a while,
right,
where the other ones didn't even pretend to.
right. But We had a viewer. They were a
And then we talked about, yeah. Oh, that was probably me because I was trying to share this thing out too.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, we do. We have that one viewer buffer. That's usually Jesse when he's on because he has it. Well, no, I mean, that's fine. That's good. Anyway, we don't have to talk about that. Mastodon ain't it though. Mastodon is interesting. I tried that for a little bit, but it is too like kind of convoluted in a way.
Well, yeah, try to explain, try to explain it to somebody that you would want to get onto the platform. And it's like, okay, you want to like sign up for, I don't know, Twitter. You know how to sign up for things, right? You explain Facebook. That's pretty easy. You can explain that. Mastodon. Try to explain that to somebody that doesn't do a lot on the internet.
You have to pick a server.
Right.
And then like
you can only talk to your friends if they're on that server or a server that the server likes.
Yeah, that's kind of the, like, I found interesting people through whatever server connections that are available to me through the one that Brandon's got, because Brandon Lapani has one set up, and that's what I've been using. There's interesting people. There's some, like, awesome Doctor Who fans and stuff, so of course, I'm all about that, but, like, overall, I found it, like, super limited in terms, like, I don't know. It doesn't give me the same thing.
It's like the old days of the internet come back full circle. It's almost like Usenet boards. It's almost like a bulletin board system, only a little more robust.
Which wouldn't be bad, but like I don't what's the word? Network. I don't network like I used to. Like,
you don't telnet like you used to?
No.
I don't use telnet like I used to.
I don't want to be that social on social network. I just kind of want to creep. I want to see what people are saying. Sometimes I'll reply, but I'm not looking to spend a bunch of time building like a group of friends on there now. I'll follow some people, but the state that even like Twitter though, the state that's on, like I had my super science profile. Like I had a good list of people following. There's a nice mix of like constant like music and synthwave related stuff and AI art stuff, but like the AI art community is a dumpster fire at this point because the copyright debate and corporations have come in and like that's becoming a dumpster fire. And like I'm assuming people that I was following have also bounced off Twitter, so like my Twitter feed's even kind of lame. And then don't even get me started on the trending tab. Like it's right there and it's like guaranteed. Like you want to be irritated, just shift your eyes about 50 pixels to the right, and there's instant irritation. The Twitter feed is hot garbage. The like trending tabs. Yeah, it's unpleasant. And so everybody, something I've been thinking is like, because everybody's like, well, where is it going to be Mastodon? Is it going to be Hive or whatever? Spoilers, at least for me, it's not going to be Hive. It's app only. I hate app only apps. Like I hate it. I'm on desktop all the time. We don't need a Twitter replacement. Just shut it down. We don't need it. Get rid of it.
Well, you think it'll be Reddit? People are postulating like Reddit's as close as it's going to get.
Reddit kind of makes the most sense. It's an interesting, like I did think of that because it's got that Mastodon thing like geared towards community long before Mastodon, anything like that. But at the same time, it's much more interconnected in a way. And you can do like Twitter. The nice thing about Twitter, because people always complain about Twitter, and I'm like, if you follow the right people, it's not horrible. Like it's not a bad place. You just avoid those people. But it's much harder to avoid that now, it seems like.
Because rather than Mastodon, I just use Discord servers.
Right.
If I'm going to go that route, I'm going to go Discord.
That's Discord's interesting. I think that because Reddit, you can still kind of find amalgamated areas, right?
Right.
And that's something you don't necessarily have with Discord, but Discord is very much like they're not walled off, but they are like lots of walled gardens.
Yeah, they're like a curated community. literally curated because you can only get in if you have a link.
I think I'm just done being social.
Yeah.
I kind of don't think I need any of it right, at least right now. I'll change my mind later when I have an album to promote or something. But
Right, yeah. You need eyeballs on it that you don't normally have, yeah.
right. But to be honest, that hasn't been getting me anywhere for years now anyway, since like I used to be pretty good at promoting stuff on the social networks, but it seemed like that changed a while back. So yeah, I don't know, man. But whatever, I'm a hardcore introvert, so like I'm not most people, so it doesn't matter.
That's right, yeah. Because otherwise we'd all be on TikTok. At least until China something.
Until China something. Until China's.
So
China's
China.
gonna China.
And then unless we don't let the China, then we just got blacklisted because we said China too many times.
Why? Is China? That's not bad.
I don't know.
It? They're one of our, fellow communities in the world. We should all love and respect each other.
Hey, Maddie D, what's going on? Maddie D's got the idea. Hey, want to join my antisocial network? You sign in and post one thing a month.
Oh. What if it's memes? Can I post memes as long as I don't speak?
I would, but I'm probably going to be busy that night.
Right. Yeah, no, I'll be there. That's the true antisocial network.
That's it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'll be there.
Cool.
Night of busy signal. Back in the day, because you could take your phone off the hook. You can't do that anymore.
You guys commit too much. I'm like, I'll have to check and see. I'll let you know. That's mine. And then never answer the phone.
Oh yeah. I'll look at that. I'll ask. I'll see.
Yep.
If I'm going to double check with Holly.
Right. Yep.
And then just never do it.
I get. Never mind. I'm going to tell on myself. I get in a bad habit of like people send me a message.
If I give away my tricks, I can't use them.
My trick is I just don't reply.
Oh.
People send me messages and I'll read them and be like, I'll get back to that maybe tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to be there's legitimately like, they're not even like complicated. People aren't asking me like involved stuff, but I'll read something and I'll be like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I'm not mentally prepared to respond to this right now, so I'm not going to. Right. And then you'll forget that it's there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've actually had to like pin things in my text messages so they just don't fall way down, and then I don't even see them.
I'm a little bit better about it with work stuff, but sometimes.
Well, I mean, you're getting paid for that, so you hope so.
Right.
You'd hope you'd be better at that.
You get in too much of a habit of that with work stuff, you just don't have work anymore. So.
Right.
The true antisocial network. Just be poor and don't have internet. Just sit in your unheated cold house by yourself.
Oh God. Eat out of a single can of beans for a couple days.
Oh no, not just for a couple days. These beans have got to last me.
Yeah.
So, what have you guys been? I know, Jesse, you've been pretty busy. Maddie T says, wow, that went
he's right. It really did. Like we do.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you guys been enjoying?
Well, this can of beans for the last 3 days. It's the only way I can afford internet.
I've been enjoying. We finished watching Wednesday, which we had talked about last time with the kids. We started it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I was happy about that because I was worried it was going to suck, especially because I don't like either of the parents. But Wednesday was enough that it went okay. Except I don't necessarily like the romantic choices that go on. Other than that, I like a whodunit, especially when I'm like, is it this person? No, it's that person. Nope, it's this person. Okay, I was right. It was this person. That's always fun.
we had mentioned we give you a shout out last episode, I think it was Maddie D, that I was like, wait, how is there a new Wednesday show and there hasn't been some '60s reboot about it? Or a special episode, because it is a reboot of a '60s show, which is trending on. That's like treading on your territory, but yeah, I did not expect to enjoy it. I used to love Tim Burton stuff, and I have not been really a fan of much of anything he's been involved in for a long time. Like, some of it's okay, but like, man. But now that he's out, now that Disney's hooks aren't in him anymore, maybe he'll do some more interesting stuff. Because he was, not long ago, I was reading an article, and he was like, kind of trash talking Disney a little bit. Basically just saying, like, he felt like he's just a cog there, and he doesn't like whatever, so he's done working with them for who knows how long. But I agree with Mel. I hate all the casting of the adult Addams family members. I don't care for it at all. Like, and it's not their looks; it's just them. It's like Gomez is, what's his name? Is it Luis Guzman? Looks okay if they're going by like the comic strip version. Is like, okay, he's like a short, kind of like short, fat, not particularly like attractive guy. But I don't like the guy's acting. Like, it just doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't have the flair that Gomez needs.
Right, and he just doesn't have a lot of personality, really. Like, beyond like his little whatever.
Yeah, no,
and Fester is, what's his name from
Portlandia?
Yeah. And his voice, like, different actors seem to be dialing in different levels of camp. Right. And it's like they don't really know where to go.
I really liked Christopher Lloyd as Fester, unfortunately.
What's that? Yeah. You did?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of locked in my brain now, is like, he was a really good Fester, even though like the original the original TV Fester was much more squeaky, I believe.
Right. Right.
Christopher Lloyd's great in everything. He just disappears into his roles, and it's awesome. I mean, it's him, but still, he disappears in them anyway.
Right. And he was over the top, but I kind of feel like the Portlandia guy is doing like just straight up cartoon voice. And something about his face is unsettling to me. Maddie D points out Guzman just doesn't have the panache like Raul Julia or John. Is it Austin?
I agree.
He doesn't have the panache.
He doesn't. But yeah, because he's supposed to be all wooey, like on Morticia, and this guy doesn't have any of that. He's not going to woo anybody.
It doesn't come across well, I don't think. And Morticia's okay, but like kind of bland.
No, is this
90s casting was just too good, right? Like, of course, we got nostalgia on that, but what's her name as Morticia was too good. Like, you can't.
Oh, she was good.
Angelica
Houston.
Yes, and and you know what? I mean, I'm not being mean to her. She's not ugly or anything, but she's not a particularly attractive person. But as Morticia, she's super like sexy or whatever. Catherine Zeta-Jones normally is pretty sexy. As Morticia, no, she wasn't really. She was less so, I thought. It was weird.
I feel like in concept, on paper, that one sounds really good.
Yeah.
Dark hair, but like fair skin, like.
Right. Yeah, she should have been. She should have been like a shoo-in for him, but I think she didn't try. Maybe is the problem. I don't know.
I mean, that's more than anything. It's just like the performances, and that just might be like our expectations. But I mean, come on, like.
They know they had to live up to the freaking 90s movies, didn't they? Because they didn't try.
Or at least the cartoon.
Right.
At least the cartoon reboots.
Which role Johnny Depp play? Which role?
Fester?
No.
Gomez. Yeah.
Gomez.
Yeah, right.
Also, is that Turner? I'm assuming that's Turner.
For a Tim Burton thing, I'm kind of surprised there wasn't any Johnny Depp or Helena Bonham Carter.
Well, maybe that's surprising, but like when they were filming this, Johnny Depp wasn't. You couldn't work with him. Maybe now.
Right, he was blacklisted then.
Maybe now, but when they would have been filming this, you definitely couldn't work with him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now you can.
There is a meme though that I like.
He could
a lot.
be it.
Yeah.
There is a meme of the Wednesday girl, but it's got Johnny Depp's face imposed. Like, this is what I expected. Like, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turner, hey, what's going on? I thought so. But overall, I liked it. I really liked. I mean, it's got all the cliche stuff, and I said it last week. It's like, it's Addams Family, but also a little bit of Harry Potter, and a little bit of Sabrina. Man, if Chilling Adventures of Sabrina hadn't like fallen off so hard, like it'd be such a good double feature with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Helena B was busy doing Enola Holmes too. Okay, sure. I never watched the first. I haven't watched those. But I think there is weirdness when there's talk of like people getting in trouble. And Jesse, I don't know if you've watched this at all Wednesday, so we won't go into spoilers. But there's like, people get in trouble for potentially for murder and stuff like that. And it's weird to like take these real world, like, there's a murder or whatever. Like, I don't want to get into it, but like real world rules and then apply it to Addams Family, which even in the like 90s movies, they existed in their own like cartoon logic of like, well, it's a little murder,
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird to have the Addams Family with their sensibilities, but still like in a world that kind of like there's consequences.
That does sound like Sabrina a little bit. It's like
yeah.
The normies.
They
actually they call them normies.
Straight up, like there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah. I hope they don't turn into Glee.
Just don't. If it starts with the musical numbers, outside of the dance thing, that's fine. That was at a dance. But if they start musical numbers, if Wednesday Addams, well, she has a cello. A cello.
Wait, wow! This is an interesting reboot. That word doesn't mean what you think it means.
Should have just rolled with it. A cholo solo.
Cello
solo.
Yeah.
While eating Rolos. And
Caramel.
wearing a bolo. Have I
YOLO.
the situation yet? Okay. Yeah, no, they start doing musical numbers. I'm out. She starts, if she joins like suddenly, hey, Wednesday, come practice with our band suddenly that we're a band and we're doing teeny bopper songs. Like,
No.
They did do some kind of lame stuff a couple times, but it's forgiven because, they still had it weird enough, I guess.
What I found interesting is like there's a lot of like tropes that are there in the storytelling, in that kind of story, in that teen and coming of age and like school, like there's tropes all abound.
Oh yeah.
That are counter to anything that like the personality that Wednesday has would like work with. But they still go with the trope, but have her still react in a Wednesday manner. And it kind of works, I thought. Like I don't feel like they ever betrayed her. If anything, her like detached certain. Like, she's the best character, hands down. It's her show, but like she's a very good Wednesday, and I think she's written very well. And having her be that way while there's still like love triangle stuff going on, but she's just Wednesday, so it almost just makes her seem like on the extreme end of a spectrum, right? She's just like oblivious to stuff, and people are having like these tropey things around her, and she's just like doing her thing. And for me, that kind of worked.
But we're not here to talk about Wednesday, so let's stop it. We're here to talk about what we're talking about. Doctor Who?
Christmas.
Oh yeah, Christmas.
We're going to talk about holiday specials. There's going to be a lot.
That sounded way too excited. I hate Christmas, but Christmas specials are another thing.
She's just excited to get this this conversation pushing forward. Okay, well, do we want to Was there anything else? We watched Bullet Train. Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, was that any good?
It was okay.
It was fun-ish.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It was not as good as any of the other movies that are exactly like it, but it was still pretty good. I mean, like Snatch and what was the other one?
Like
Lock, Stock, and Two
Out
Smoking Barrels, stuff like that.
It's so funny you mentioned Knives Out because we just watched that too.
Yeah. Which I enjoyed actually.
No, Knives Out is more of a like Clue kind of mystery thing.
Okay.
Bullet Train is very much it's
John Wick.
It's John Wick in that like it is the like all your characters are somewhat outlandish assassins of sorts, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're all super cool, right?
Right.
And I feel like in that genre, kind of Snatch in a way, but Snatch like is a whole nother caliber.
That's true.
But it's like John Wick, but more colorful, more comedy oriented than John Wick.
Mm-hmm. And it's on a train.
Right. I feel like it's a fine middle of the road like
so
entry.
It's like Speed.
That's better than Speed.
It's exactly what like Gunpowder Milkshake was trying to be. That was that Netflix movie with Amelia Pond. That's not her name.
Karen Gillian. Ironically, we're going to talk about her later.
Yep.
Why are we talking about her?
Christmas!
No! I hate Christmas!
Wow. Melanie's bringing the manic this holiday season. So you're cheering it, and then now you're hating.
That's Christmas, man.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, Bullet Train. It's fine.
Oh wait, I know because she's the blue chick. That's right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Just like, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm a little slow today.
Okay, let's do it. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
For Christmas!
We watched it. Now we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, James Gunn. I was kind of excited about this when I heard about it a ways back. Because it's a James Gunn thing, and specifically because it had that title. And I remember telling Melanie about it recently because she doesn't remember the things we ever talk about on the show. So
I don't.
I get to tell her the news over and over again. She's like, what? And she's like, holiday special. Oh, and I was like, but no. You're missing it. You're missing the point.
Yeah.
Because I had in my head, I was like, it's James Gunn, holiday special. He's technically working with he's working with Disney, which they have I was like, he's going to angle like a Star Wars holiday special thing in there, right? Like that's kind of the thing. And then it starts with that animation, that very 70s looking.
Yep.
There's another term for it, but that specific animation. And I was like, I knew it.
Yeah. It was like was that rotoscoped or like not rotoscoped, but like Rankin Bass used it for their Hobbit cartoon.
Yeah. It's like rotoscoped animation. Yeah.
Right.
But also like intentionally cheap to where like
frame rate's bad.
Yeah, not a lot of frames to it.
Yeah.
And then there's a musical number. There's a guest celebrity star. Like I was like, he nailed it. He ticked all the boxes. Yet it wasn't yet he kept it perfectly Guardians of the Galaxy and highly entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And it was relatively clean, but still within his I feel like his sense of humor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Human trafficking.
Yeah.
Right. It's pretty dark when you think about it, but.
And this is the most. I mean, I think somebody coined this as this is Mantis's origin story. Like this is her actual coming out into the Guardians. She's been there since Guardians 2, but she's just there.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And this is well, we'll actually give her something to do in this. Mm-hmm. So this was kind of fun to see Mantis as almost the main character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her and what's the wrestler guy's name?
Drax.
Yeah, her and Drax were the thing that made it worth watching the most to me. There's silly, fun stuff. It was, not the smartest stuff, but it was still fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It made it worth it.
Yeah, it was appropriate for their characters.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of what made the, You could do like a dumb but funny kind of thing.
Right.
If it fits the characters, and it was totally appropriate.
But Drax, obviously, they did not have enough money to give him a proper, you know, costume, because I don't think his tattoo things or whatever they are were the same, and he's wearing a shirt the whole time.
I did notice, like, yeah, his makeup looked a little off. Not bad, but it looked off. Oh, I'm gonna hold on. You guys keep talking, but he also like wasn't shirtless the whole time, which maybe he's like, I don't want to be shirtless, shirtless and painted the whole time. But that definitely seemed like a smart way to avoid having to paint somebody over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or maybe he's starting to grow a dad bod.
He's not wrestling as often, so.
Yeah, see.
He's like, I'll get in shape for the big feature, but not for the holiday special. Come on. Mm-hmm. Michael Rooker gets rotoscoped and I've got to work out? No.
Yeah.
Put me in a flak jacket.
I didn't like necessarily either Kevin Bacon. I mean, I know that's horrible to say, but he seemed kind of, I mean, he's getting paid to be there, I'm sure, but maybe not enough, because he didn't seem very enthusiastic about it. Like he did his part, he did what he had to do, but it felt like he only did the limit of what was necessary to get paid.
But at the same time, it almost felt like he was playing it like he was in a Hallmark movie. And in that regard, I kind of liked it. Like, this had a Hallmark Christmassy movie feel to it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that much. I don't really watch Hallmark movies.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay.
No, but they're like cheesy, you know. They're like,
oh yeah, I know. Of
very
course
shallow and surface, and
yeah. I would imagine it'd be like the same story 14 different times.
Yeah, and you know, like, that was his job, and it was just to be like the well, first of all, he's supposed to run away, and then he's supposed to be like, you know, once he realizes what's actually going on, he's not in a trance anymore. He's like, I need to be out of here. This is awful. And then all you need is one line, and then all of a sudden, you know what? I need to stick around and teach some people about Christmas.
Yeah.
And you know, he was only there because they promised him he could do a musical thing that would wind up on the album.
Really?
I'm sure that's part of the gig, was just like, oh yeah, I'll do it if I can sing.
That's funny.
Because I mean, like, that's what he does now. He's like, he travels with his band probably as much or more than he does movies.
Yeah, but I mean, even if that were, I mean, if I were, say I were a musician or an artist or whatever I am, and somebody gave me a job doing something, if I had to like be like, only if you let me do this, I would feel so bad about it. I wouldn't be able to do it, because I'd be like, if it's not good enough on its own merit, then it doesn't. I don't know. That's me though.
Well, we'll just play the game. 6 conditions of Kevin Bacon. I'll be in your movie under 6 conditions.
I did like that real little bit though, where they were talking about how actors are like the worst people, and
that made me laugh out loud. The whole, like, actors are awful human beings. Well, Nebula had maybe the best line of, "Huh, I guess not all actors are complete and total pieces of poo."
Mm-hmm. Why she got to be Amy Pond?
I don't know. She's so much better in this. I mean, like,
yeah, I agree.
She's just deadpan, and she gives Rocket Raccoon an arm. That was pretty funny too. I was like, oh yeah, Rocket Raccoon gets random limbs. Why not get Bucky's arm?
Maybe I just need to see her in more stuff, because I hated her as Amy Pond, and I didn't mind her in Oculus, and I think that's the only other thing I've seen her in besides the, you know, Marvel movies.
She really, like, transforms into this role too. Like, she walks super butch, you know, and just like, does not care, you know, like.
No, I do. I like her as this character. Yeah. If I didn't know she was her, I would probably like it more. But I'll give her that. She's a good Nebula, or, well, their version of Nebula, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Did you guys already talk about Groot?
No.
Nope.
Matty D says Groot looked a little like a guy in a rubber suit. He did look big and beefy in a weird way, and it did seem like that. And I wonder if maybe
That's just his awkward teenage stage. Just leave him alone.
that's what I was debating if it was that or if it was like, yeah, no, this is the holiday special. We're gonna have some weird looking Wookiees. I mean, Groots.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys see the trailer for Guardians 3 that came out after this?
No.
So Groot is supposed to look pretty jacked in the third installment. So I assume this is our transitional Groot.
What does a jacked tree look like?
Big.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, was that Santa Conquers the Martians? Is that what that was?
That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I have seen it. I have it on DVD on like a 50 sci-fi movie pack full of nothing but.
Yep, I do too. Some around here somewhere.
Yep, horrible crap in public domain movies. Yeah.
Is it as good? Oh wait, we haven't seen it yet. That one movie that's coming out that I'm excited about with the guy from Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be great from what I've seen of the handful of people that have actually gone and seen it. Is it Violent Night? Is that what it's called? Or
I don't remember.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is going to be a Christmas 60s reboot Christmas episode. Is that what you're saying, Maddie D?
Oh,
I'm intrigued.
Good one.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I keep hearing. Is Violent Night was really fun.
Yeah, with Hopper. That's his real name.
Yeah,
Hopper.
He's
just
Hopper. And he went to Juilliard.
That's acting, sucker.
If he's not Hopper, he's Frankenstein's monster, Frankenstein.
What a weird thing! Like, that is baffling, but it was thoroughly entertaining to me.
Yep. It may have given him more cred in my book. That silly Netflix special.
Right.
Oh ho! Maddie D says yes, it will be that the Santa Claus Conquers the Martians will be a 60s reboot episode. He just needs a co-host.
I've seen it. It's not good.
I have not, and I won't.
Probably look it up on YouTube. It's probably on YouTube. If anybody hasn't seen it and they're curious as to what we're talking about, you probably just watch it for free online. But okay.
I think some of my favorite stuff with like back to the Kevin Bacon stuff. Some of my favorite stuff was like their interaction at Kevin Bacon's house, where it's all stuff you can kind of see coming. Like, I wonder if you could, and he just throws her over the thing. It was just like you could see that coming, and then Drax jumps over in the most like badly CGI'd way possible. But then they just like start stealing things, like their interactions on Earth were awesome and hilarious. Like, I'm gonna steal this. It's a funny man. I'm taking this, and then she takes the candy cane, not even knowing what it is, and then later asking the police that are like pinned in the flipped car, "Does this look like a guy?" No, Drex is just being stupid.
And then she leaves it.
Yeah.
With them as a
Yeah, we're even.
Apology gift. Yeah. I love that. Like they get drunken, and then she uses her mind power to give me. She wants a map of the stars or whatever.
Yeah, give it to me
that.
For free.
And then she uses it again to just straight up rob the lady.
and
give me all your money.
After they put tons of money on a bar to get a couple of shots.
Yeah. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, Maddie D agrees. Drunk Mattis is hilarious. Mattis. Drunk Mattis. Mattis D. So, I didn't log this because it's not really a movie, right? It's like
right.
Yes, it is.
It's a special. It's probably on Letterboxd. But I don't know. It was good. It's exactly what it should have been, I thought.
Yeah.
It's not the best thing ever, but it was totally good.
Well, even how they opened up the show with the alien bards, not understanding Christmas, that was kind of fun. It was just kind of fun. The whole thing was fun, and I think that was the point.
Even the musical segments.
Yeah.
were tolerable. They were decent. They were entertaining. Yeah, Kevin Bacon's was okay. Whatever. He
Yeah, it
likes
was
to
fine.
sing. He can sing.
It was the most kind of ham-fisted bit of it, but it, like I said, it kind of felt like this Hallmark movie kind of moment. Yeah. It was like, okay, that's fine.
It's exactly, yeah. It's what would be in an old school holiday special, you know?
Right.
But they still kept it in universe, right? Like it's considered canon. That's like the wrap up of the phase of Marvel Phase 4, whatever. So, that's cool.
Marvel Phase 4 was weird.
It was weird. I liked it, but it was weird.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit last week. I feel like, there were a couple standout movies for me, but for the most part, the movies largely were forgettable, except for you had like Black Widow and the Inhumans, which I forgot or not the Inhumans, what is it?
Oh, the Eternals.
The Eternals, which I forgot was even a thing till somebody mentioned it a week ago. But then you had like the Sam Raimi movie, and I'm just gonna call it the Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange, and of course Spider-Man. But Spider-Man, like, he lives on the fringes.
Right.
And you had their kung fu movie. Like, they just did lots of different things.
Yeah, it was
movies
really
weren't
different.
bad, but they were like, okay.
Yeah.
But it was kind of the TV shows, I think, is where Phase 4 really lived. And in some cases, they excelled there.
Right.
I wonder what they're going to do next.
Guardians 3. It's going to be Quantumania with Ant-Man.
Okay.
And we're going to get Kang, and we're going to get MODOK, I guess.
Right. Okay. Phase 5 is going to be weird, too.
Yeah. It's going to be real weird.
It's just, I think it's just going to be
getting
weird
weirder
until they stop making a ton of money all the time. Like, I don't know that they can properly reassemble like the kind of thing they had. But
yeah,
maybe they don't need to. It got to the point that I was hoping it would get to where they're just doing like random weird stuff, and it's like, well, maybe,
Well, if they're going to, it looks like they're going towards Secret Wars, and if they're going to Secret Wars, then random weird stuff is what you're going to get.
Brandon Weird? Who's that?
It got to the point where something like Legion, which I loved, the FX show.
I love Legion.
Does not seem completely out of the realm of possibility for an in-universe Marvel thing, at this point. They got that weird.
I don't know, that not quite that weird. I mean, they got kind of close, but
they haven't got that adult.
Yeah, that's true.
But they got maybe that weird.
Moon Knight.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe.
Moon Knight's that's such a strange thing. Yeah. Although talking to the kids last week, they loved Moon Knight. That was one of their favorites, which surprised me. I was like, really? It was fine, but it's not even necessarily like top tier.
Yeah, no, I think Loki, Moon Knight, and then
Hawkeye murdered some people.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they even watched that. Most of them didn't, at least. But they probably consider that one of the older people one, like Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier. Yeah. I don't think they watched either of those.
Well, and then you flip over to Star Wars, and I'm a little surprised Gabe hadn't watched Andor yet, but then they hadn't watched Andor on the Star Wars side. And it's like, okay, it's the more kind of adult in like the type of story it's telling.
Right.
And some of the other stuff.
Yeah, he's like, I heard there weren't any Jedis or whatever in there. Why would I want to watch something without any lightsabers?
Okay, Maddie D has a few comments here. First off, yes, and the Willow part of Phase 4 is really good. Or does Willow fall into the Star Wars universe? The Willow show is that out now? Is that rolling?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Wicket, so he's clearly Star Wars.
There you go.
There it is.
That's canon.
It's just like a different moon of Endor is basically where Willow must take place. I don't know.
Maddie D says, although Daredevil seems to be Disney's intro into introducing the MCU to our stuff. Yeah, I mean, I know they have all the Netflix stuff on there now, the Netflix Marvel stuff, and they've pulled Daredevil and Kingpin, but like, I still don't know how much of that they consider canon. It's interesting. I'm still fascinated that they actually added all those shows to Disney Plus, and I'm assuming on censored or anything, But Daredevil's actual, like, he was in Spider-Man, but like the She-Hulk stuff, like, still pretty light, right? Like, it is a light Daredevil.
Well, yeah, like everybody that they've brought over is more hyperbolic, and like, like everything he did was like super stylized in She-Hulk, like dramatic superhero landing, that kind of thing. And then like Wilson Fisk got hit by a car and blown up. Like, it's a different Kingpin.
Yeah. Oh man, when he's like, I'm Daredevil or whatever, and the Daredevil theme music started playing. Oh my god! I just wanted to start watching Daredevil then.
Yeah.
That might have been my favorite. Daredevil might have been my favorite thing about She-Hulk, when he just like drops out of the sky in that last episode.
So
he literally
good.
just
Like,
falls out of
I'm sorry, I'm late. It's okay, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that was so good. But anyway, let's move forward, unless we have more to talk about with this stuff.
Don't think so.
Okay. Because I wanted to mention real quick, speaking of Christmas specials, it's been announced, or it's been confirmed, Russell T Davies, yep, we're in the Doctor Who news segment, it's confirmed that he's already working on a Christmas special. Not just the one Christmas special, he's working on the second Christmas special for the new run.
Okay.
He said this year's the first time that he's been writing a Christmas special on Christmas. And then he went to clarify, not the 2023 Christmas special. That was signed off years ago, or not years ago, long ago. The 2024 Christmas special is what he's writing right now.
Yeah.
And he said Christmas specials are back, and they will be a yearly thing. Importantly, he said, I don't have the exact quotes, but he said, no more gap years.
Oh.
The next...
He is the architect that created the original David Tennant special seasons,
Mm-hmm.
I think, given though that the gap years and the 3 episode years, 3 specials years continued beyond him, I think that's probably more of a BBC thing.
Yeah, right? That could be. Yeah.
It almost feels like the holiday specials became a thing to ensure that they had a Dalek episode every year to keep that Dalek license active or whatever.
It seems like, yeah.
I know for a fact, like, Chibnall wasn't even really good about working them in on some of those. Like, they were just there. I mean, he had a couple Dalek-focused ones, but if you think about the last couple of appearances of the Daleks, they were there in flux. But, like, why? They didn't need to be.
Yeah.
They were just there. And
even in this last one, like, we're like, well, it's the Daleks and the Cybermen are here because we have them.
Where are some of the really good quotes?
I don't know why he had to say I'm writing the one for next year, because if he was writing the one for this year still, I mean, he should probably.
Well, no, there won't be one for this year though.
Oh.
Because we're still in that.
Right.
We're in that gap year.
Okay. I see.
I believe the next thing we'll get is
the special, the specials that are the 60th.
The gap year 3 episodes.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, no more gap years, huh?
No more gap years.
We're just gonna start with one.
Okay, but still, at least he's writing it for next year. Because if he were writing it for this year, then it'd probably be crap if he's still finishing it. I mean, I assume. I don't know. I guess. maybe some people do their best work under pressure, but I would think, the longer you have to
give people time to film.
Right.
I found the quote. Let me read you the quote.
Read the quote.
Quote is from RTD himself. For the first time ever, I'm writing a Christmas special at Christmas. The 2023 script has been long since signed off. The new one is for end of year 2024. And their related or separate but related news thing is that they are shooting the next Doctor season. They started filming.
Right. They kind of announced the new companion mainly because they had to, because they were going to be out and about doing that.
Where did that go? Yeah, Doctor Who season 14 filming is officially underway. Yeah, and the new companion, I watched the video clip of the reveal of her.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever, it was some not talk show, but some it wasn't it at the children
in need, yeah.
Children in need benefit thing. And it was so awkward. It struck me as so awkward. Whatever was natural, but just the weird awkward forced banter of oh, you know what kind of Doctor Who was beyond Doctor Who, blah blah. And then it cuts to they were all wearing it wasn't Mickey Mouse ears, but it was some weird thing. Cuts to the audience and they all are just they have some type of celebration hats or something on, but they're all adults too. It wasn't children. I was wait, I was expecting children. No, it's all grizzled looking adults looking very unamused. It's what is this? Hey, Paul, what's going on?
They're doing this whole Whamageddon thing in our chat. But Doctor Whoified.
Maddie D says the new companion grew up watching Matt Smith. Matt Smith Doctor. Now I feel old. She is I don't know how old she is. She looks very young, for sure. I'm very curious about it though. I'm very curious. We haven't seen 15th Doctor outfit yet. She's 18. Yeah, okay.
Wait.
Should Mickey Mouse be the new companion? Yes. Because the mouse has got its mitts on it.
You know they're gonna do they're gonna do a Simpsons Doctor Who short now.
Also, let me
Mousegatool.
So this was in the teaser for the David Tennant 60th thing. And this is the 15th Doctor.
Right.
So he makes an appearance somewhere in there. But if I remember his line is he looks very agitated and he's what the hell is going on? And RTD also mentioned he was asked about this setting, where's this at? And he's well, it's a very particular place, and if I tell you where, that'll give too much away.
Oh.
But so I think perhaps
it's Gallifrey.
You think so?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
I bet it's a blue screen studio.
Oh yeah, it's assuredly that.
Yeah.
That's what he should have said. The blue screen studio.
Right.
Either Gallifrey or that place where the other doctors live inside.
Yeah.
Head
We'll be back there. We'll finally get a Chris Eccleston return.
You think? I'm guessing we will find. I'm guessing it will be a situation where he's why is this guy in the body again? It's my turn.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. If you're going to do something weird like that,
yeah.
Why not play with it? If you're going to do something weird, explore that idea.
I think they're always scared to go weird, but I think when they go, the weirder they go, the more people like it. So I don't know why they're so scared
Except when Chris Chibnall does it.
Does he do weird?
Timeless Child.
Well, Okay, but there's a difference between like weird and then just disjointed. You know, they're not necessarily the same. You can do weird that's still all naturally kind of flows in.
Talking to that frog was weird. That was and that was one of the cooler things.
That was one of the highlights.
Yeah,
though, for sure.
I actually enjoyed that. Yeah, see, there you go. The actual weird people like. It's all the stupid other crap that.
Paul, it's not what I was saying. What was? I guess that was it. I thought there was another bit of news.
I can't take
There's going
the
to
name.
be eight episodes per
That's it.
season. Yeah.
There's going to be 8 episodes, which he's like, RTD was like, I know, that's less than usual, but no more gap years. That's when he said the no more gap
that's
years.
when it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So.
I'm responding to Maddie D's comment about Billy Madison, which that's a horrible name. Why would you name your child that?
Billy Madison?
Yeah.
Kangaroo show.
I don't think that you should have children on the show. Or maybe not, I shouldn't just say children, but teenagers. Teenagers are the worst. Really, they are. Everybody knows it. And I can see that causing issues for both the child and the cast, or the adult cast, throughout the show. You know?
I don't know how old was Rose supposed to be? She was supposed to be like 18 or something. I don't know how old she was actually, but I know the character was supposed to be pretty young.
She was not that young, though.
I was to say, didn't she go to like pubs and whatnot? Didn't her and Mickey like?
Yeah, but they can drink when they're like 16, can't they? Or 18?
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, I think
She's
it
supposed to be
is.
pretty young.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, considering the doctor's age, it was highly inappropriate. Was some of the attention.
Any human with the doctor is highly inappropriate.
That's true.
Come on.
We're like dogs.
Right.
To them.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that new doc that's supposed to be out, like Doctor Who Am I? And it's about the TV movie. Speaking of the human doctor, you know,
right,
and that whole deal. I don't know. I don't think it's available over here unless you buy it via Apple. I think you can get it in the Apple. It's like that's the worst way to distribute something, but okay.
Paul says he wants a 3-year-old companion, but with Capaldi. So Capaldi has to watch a toddler.
Oh man! Now you know what? Now I do too. Dang it, Paul! That sounds kind of incredible. We're just like chewing out a baby.
It would be better if they were like vampires, not like actual vampires, but I'm thinking of Interview with the Vampire where they have like the young vampire who's like an adult. That's what they need. They need like somebody to regenerate into a toddler and then like go around town as an adult in a toddler's body. That's what they need.
I feel like end of his run era, Capaldi Doctor could make it work. Beginning of his run era, Doctor, call Child Protective Services.
Oh yeah. No, don't give that guy any time with a child. But I mean, like towards the end, he was making everything Sonic, so that kid would have like a Sonic Rattler for sure.
Right.
Like, oh no, my sunglasses are Sonic.
Did he do much like He Can Talk Baby, or is that mostly Matt Smith era?
I think that was Matt Smith because James Corden's kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
That's who everybody talks about when they trash talk whoever James Corden. I didn't realize.
I'm pretty sure that's James Corden. I think that was the whole deal. Yeah. What was his name? Something again. Stormageddon was his real name.
Wait, his real name?
The baby's name.
The baby.
Yeah. The flatmate. When he returns to talk to, was it Craig? I think Craig was his flatmate. Yeah.
You don't remember those episodes?
No.
He was in like 2 of them.
I'm sorry.
They weren't terrible. People like really. I think they are not looked upon fondly in the fandom. They're okay. I feel like the first one's a little better because you get.
Oh, it is.
They toyed with the idea of Matt Smith, Doctor, being stuck on Earth at various points in time for whatever reason, and just like being so bored. But I feel like that first time was like he had to. I don't know. He was doing something. He was on a mission, right? And he ended up kind of living with this guy or something.
Something was happening upstairs.
That's what it was.
In the
That's
apartment.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
don't.
was fun.
I have a hard time remembering specific episodes. I get like vague ideas that I remember, but that's about it. I'm sorry,
No, it's okay.
but I just have a bad memory in general. It's not, you know,
Oh,
what?
Paul just sent me his Moose's Monster Mash 13 Horrifying Days of Christmas release schedule. He's burning himself out again this year. He's doing that like one episode a day.
He
for
wouldn't be
13 days
himself
until
if he
Christmas.
couldn't burn himself out.
What's that?
He couldn't be himself if he didn't burn himself out
That's a
with
good point.
like a epic event.
Mm-hmm. So if you are looking for a horror podcast, go to electronicmediacollective.com and check it out. Starting the 13th, I believe, he'll be dropping a new episode every day. And he's always like, he gets like, if you're a horror fan, he gets people on there that you want to hear. So
Before we leave the BBC, it just occurred to me what else I've seen, and it's interesting and it's of note because I just watched the recent season of The Crown.
okay.
And they do another time jump, so there's another recast. But this season, they actually have a whole episode that's about the BBC, a little bit. It even takes place at the BBC. And what's his name? Martin Bashir. Is that his name? Something like that. Did the interview with Diana, and then like years later, he did one with Michael Jackson, and and it's like, man, they don't paint him in a favorable light, but like,
really,
yeah. So The Crown, that's the only other thing I watched. It just occurred to me, and it's the gal that plays Dolores Umbridge in Harry Potter, and I thought forever I will see that woman as Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter. I just figured like I'll never see her as anything else. But she plays the Queen at that time period pretty good. And I'm like, well, maybe she's not always going to be Dolores Umbridge.
she's the queen now.
Maybe she's the Queen. Yeah.
I need to go back to it. I will at some point go back to it.
It's a good series. Like, there hasn't been a bad season.
Right.
I don't really think that Dolores Umbridge is all that different from the Queen, though. Honestly,
Yeah,
they seem very similar characters.
But Dolores Umbridge was much more high pitched and like, man, just always want to punch Dolores Umbridge. I don't always want to punch the Queen. I actually feel bad for the Queen sometimes. I don't ever feel bad for Dolores Umbridge.
Well, Dolores Umbridge always wears pink, so
Right.
for me, that's enough to want to punch her. I mean,
Yeah, I never watched this with the captions. Captions do pretty wacky things. Pink is evil, Maddie D says.
Yeah.
I wish I know that's relevant. That's almost a better comment if it was just totally irrelevant without context.
What? The pop singer? She seems all right. Raise a glass.
Real quick, before we totally wrap up, I did want to mention today, Melanie and I watched the first episode of the new season of Doom Patrol. It's okay. I love Doom Patrol. They're really leaning into the butts, and I don't like the butts. So that's a disappointment to me, but whatever. One episode in.
They tried to make them cooler, though. They at least made them zombie butts now.
Yeah, if you get bit by a zombie butt, you turn into a zombie butt creature.
Yeah.
And they had a guy who had a cannon come out of his butt, too. They're really all about the butts.
They really are, huh? Is it Brendan Fraser still on that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I suppose he doesn't. Well, I suppose he does the acting. I was like, he probably doesn't even have to do the acting.
No, he does the voice acting, but somebody else does the robot suit. If it's robot, they will occasionally have him, whether it's flashback or through some other thing, they'll have him on camera. But for the most part, he's just voice acting most of the time. Not quite Tremors, those creatures, but they are kind of like those creatures. They actually do kind of look like those creatures where they have the two legs and they're just like a hunched over like thing.
They're just a butt. There's no wings.
And I get it because I like the show, and it does. I mean, the pilot episodes ends with like, I don't remember what the context is, but like a goat that farts this green noxious gas. Like they lean into that pretty heavy, but I feel the butt creatures, they're just butts on legs that with mouths, where you would expect.
Is that a good sign for there to be another season after this one?
Is there?
I don't know.
Oh man, well, it's the butt apocalypse apparently this season. And I'm like, oh god, great. My least favorite creature of this show. They're really leaning into it with the butt apocalypse. Cool. And I get it. That's what that's what the show does. It's so stupid because it knows, but it might be good. Whatever. It's still Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol's been a solid for 3 seasons so far. I'm amazed it got to 4 seasons, so I'm just happy about that. Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. And Brendan Fraser, because he's in some other movie we haven't seen yet, but I hear it's good and is winning awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing that it's gotten to 4 seasons.
Yeah.
To think they jumped the shark at the butt apocalypse.
Amazing.
It is amazing. Well, what's so frustrating is like, it does that on purpose because I feel like it's genuinely a pretty smart show. It's like 100% character driven, really.
Yeah.
But they know how stupid their humor is, and they just lean hard into it sometimes. And I feel like the butt creatures, they lean too hard into it.
Yeah.
The sex ghosts, fine.
The sex ghosts were fun, actually, yeah.
Butt creatures, no.
They got the butt end of that joke.
Uh-huh.
I just flashed comments up super quick. Read that. There you go.
Jeez, Netflix, thanks.
Right.
Netflix is terrible about that with their captions.
They are.
Sometimes.
Well, it's because people talk too fast or whatever, so they're just like, give you like 3 seconds, whatever.
1899. We watched that. That show was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Watch 1899. If you watch Dark on Netflix, definitely watch it. And if you didn't, like me, I didn't watch Dark. Watch it anyway. It's pretty cool.
But watch Dark because Dark is great.
I'll have to check out Dark sometime.
Yeah, you should.
Anyway,
it gets into I'm my own grandpa territory. Not quite, but similar.
So Dark Doctor Who crossover.
Time
travel.
I mean, it'd be depressing, but it would work.
Right.
Because Dark's like I'm my own grandpa, but that's bad, and I need to kill my grandpa. No, it's not exactly that bad, but it's it's a much darker type, but it still has the similar like none of this would have happened without that happening, and that only happened because of time travel, kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm. The title seems appropriate though.
It does. The title is very appropriate because it's pretty dark. So
would you say the show is amazing?
I would say it is amazing, but you know what's even more amazing?
What?
Christmas.
Oh no, it's not. What's amazing is this idea that was proposed by researchers from McGill University in Canada and Tau Zero Foundation in the US. So right now, we use basically like a rocket propulsion and maybe a little bit of ion here and there, but not too much. But we need to get away from that into renewables, I guess, for space. And the main thing that they're focusing on right now is solar sails, which is great, but still, solar sails have to be really big to catch enough photons, to power them. But the bigger they are, the heavier they are, the more they cost. And then there's more chance of them getting pierced by something. So many things can go wrong. So there's still issues with that. So this new proposal is that they kind of use the same setup as solar sails, but rather than going for photons, they try to catch ions. And there's a lot less ions, but they have more power behind them. So they think that with a cable that's just a few meters long, they should be able to hold on. They should be able to like I don't know how you say it, kind of like snap, because the way that the magnetic field works is it bows out in like a big bubble. So basically this cable would like snag onto that and turn into like a parachute that would blow it further. It's pretty, I mean, the if you can see it, it looks way cooler than I can describe it, I'm sure. But
are they going to lasso some magnetic fields?
yes, they're going to lasso some magnetic fields basically, and then use that to push them, and that should get them. And then again, they haven't created any yet, but this is a theory that it should push them approximately 700 kilometers a second, which is just a little less than a quarter of the speed of light, which is pretty good. And if they loop in and out of the different solar winds, then they can kind of soar or glide like a bird and barely use any of the propulsion systems that would have to be built in anyway to just get them out into space at this point, unless they use a slingshot thing, but I don't think people are allowed to be in that yet. Anyway,
I was gonna say, how would people like not just turn into juice at that speed?
Right. Well, they that fast? Who knows? But they're planning on, if they do interstellar travel, this right now is the most viable option, because the turbulence outside of our solar system is going to have way more of the ionic activity than inside the solar system. So that's where we would really get the big speed boosts. So, and even just getting to Jupiter, it would be faster than a regular propulsion system.
Maddie D, are you actually from the 60s? Even your like
Q-36 explosive space modulator.
Even your Looney Tunes references are old school, man. That's great. Well, I was gonna say, because you threw a couple options at me and Jesse for which story you should do. And I was gonna say do that one because it reminds me of the Planet of the Apes book, the original Planet of the Apes book, where it was like a sailboat in space, and I was always amused by that.
I was thinking the Fifth Doctor one where there's those sailboats in space. I don't remember which ones those were, but
and I was thinking Treasure Planet with sailboats in space, but none of them are accurate.
What you're talking about is actually beyond. First off, the fact that solar sails makes the ridiculous and kind of like because like the original Planet of the Apes was written before like people had actually gone to space. So I was like, oh, that's quaint, haha. But you're like, solar sails is a thing, and I'm like, oh
yeah,
that's not.
It's
quaint.
the most feasible quantum, or not quantum, but interstellar.
But what you're saying is like this is beyond. No, we're not. This ain't sailboats. That's. What do you think this is?
That's your grandpappy's solar sails.
Well, they do have solar sails that they're using right now for things that are going to be inside the solar system, but the sails are not. It's the cables that are to catch the electromagnetic, whatever you call them, like loops. That's what's going to get us the interstellar, not the sails. The sails aren't really going to work much outside the solar system because there's not going to be enough photons to catch.
Oh yeah, I got you. You're talking about you're.
But I will say that if you've never seen Treasure Planet, watch it. And they use solar sails, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful cartoon. It's amazing. And I wish we could sail on solar winds because that looks so pretty. But that's beside the point.
Paul wants to see the Interstellar Yacht Club now.
Yep. I want to be they need to start having people go up and scavenge, or not scavenge. I guess scavenge the like leftover. I want to be a space pirate. Yes.
Sexy space pirate.
I want to be a space pirate. That's my dream. Okay.
The only other thing I can think is Eric Cartman singing that Styx song. And sailing
right. Okay. And Melanie wants space pirates. Jesse wants Eric Cartman in space.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, with the people. Look at who is actually going to space these days. You will see an Interstellar Yacht Club.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
Oh yeah, They're gonna look like penises too.
Because of
Jeffrey,
course,
especially if Jeffrey Bezos is in the club.
Yep.
How do you not look at that and be like, no, change it? They're like, but that's the best design. I don't care. Change it.
Right? I'm gonna be on TV.
I'm already gonna
in
look
this
like
thing.
like a D head, blowing all this money to fly to space. Don't put me in an actual D ship. Don't do it.
And by the way, there's no way that's the best design. Not even close.
No, yeah, that's not aerodynamic at
Not
all.
at all.
That's intentional.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather go in a slingshot
Penetrate.
in that that slingshot into space than the one. I have to look into that. I'm not sure if they actually started using that for satellites or not or yet, but I'm excited about it. I did that once a few episodes ago, the slingshot into space, but it
Made me think of like a jellyfish too, like interstellar jellyfish.
I would think it would be cool to be able to like be inside a jellyfish. I mean, I'd probably be dead, I'm sure, but if I weren't, it'd be cool.
That made me go Matt Smith in my brain. Like, I'm in a jellyfish now. Jellyfishes are cool.
Yeah. It makes me think of Abyss, though. But that's what I would do if I was a jellyfish. I'd be like, I want to go down to the bottom and see what's going on. Because if you're in a jellyfish, you don't got to worry about pressure, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry. Go on, Randy. Continue the show.
I don't know where to go from here. That's the problem. I don't know what to do. I'm just reading the comments now.
Space whale. You want to be a space whale, as in you want to be on a space whale or in a space whale, like Pinocchio.
All I can think of is like that scene in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where it's like the randomized engine or whatever turns the thing into a sperm whale, and the only thing the sperm whale can think of as it plummets into the planet's surface is, oh, not again.
Yeah. I really like that bit. Yeah. No, Matt wants to ride on a space whale.
You'd probably die.
Yeah, well, like assuming a space whale is the same size as a regular whale, like, I don't even know how.
Speaking of like Matt Smith,
clutch to it.
Matt Smith Doctor is going to show up and be very cross with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least the queen.
Right.
The space queen at that point.
Do you think a space whale would have like the big like globe thing over like a little hole on his neck too, so that he wouldn't breathe like space air?
It's gotta be a globe though, because that is the spacesuit thing.
Right.
Maybe a globe on each eye and a globe on the blowhole. He's good.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't put a globe over its whole head. That'd be ridiculous.
Well, I mean, its head maybe, but not the head and the blowhole. That's like halfway down his back or something.
True. That's true.
A t-shirt. You know where you can get some great t-shirts? We haven't done the pimping, have we?
No. Hey. Well, you should go to strangerswitht-shirts.com. Also, I noticed, I don't know how often you do designs, but I noticed Jesse has himself a TeePublic store or something too.
Yeah, I do. I don't have nearly enough designs, and most of them have been taken down because I do mashup art, and mashup art tends to trample on a couple of IPs at a time. So one group or the other is like, no.
That's poopy.
Yeah.
I feel like I get fan art that's just straight up like, here's this character.
Right.
Fair use means nothing, man. Like,
no,
because a mashup is neither character.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's parodying both.
It's a parody. Yeah. Yeah, that irritates me.
Right.
TeePublic sucks about that. Man, I'm still upset because I think the best design I ever did was that Venture Brothers design, and I put it up because they had the official fan art thing, whatever, and it sat in like pending for like 6 months and then just disappeared. What you got?
What's that? A little magic murder bag.
It's literally from TeePublic, and so then you wonder, how do they get away with this?
Right, that's Qbert. That's straight up Qbert. It says Qbert. It looks like Qbert. It's Qbert.
It is Qbert, yeah.
It looks like it almost looks like an official design.
Yeah, and maybe it is. I don't know, because it's like it's strange what could be licensed through them, because I know that like they have a Rick and Morty license or something,
Right.
and they have like a Star Trek license or something, but I don't know. Where one thing starts and the next begins. So like certain things are allowed on TeePublic and other things are not.
I should have just did a Pixel Rick like I wanted to, which would be a pixel version of Pickle Rick, but
Pixel Rick.
there's like a million of those out there. But so I was like, nah,
yeah.
I'll just do the Great Inquisitor because he's awesome for Venture Brothers. But nope.
He is awesome.
Yeah. So, TeePublic. Go to TeePublic.
Yeah, go there.
Strangers with T-shirts.com. And I don't know. I've been slowly revamping the Grawlix site. Jesse, I'll have to get a link to your store. I don't know if I have it on there. But that's how I come across it the other day. I was like, I need recent links for people.
Why does everything break so much? It's silly.
Twitter.
Oh.
I don't know.
Blame Musk. It's all him.
Yeah.
Elon and Bezos. It's their fault.
Every time I hear about Musk, it's like a little bit worse. It's like, this privileged, rich, whatever, and then it's like son of a apartheid general mine owner, and I'm like, oh, geez.
Just
every time it's like worse and worse.
The descriptors is like a good
Yes.
indication of like the general like how people are feeling about him.
Right.
It just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, he went from a genius to what he is now, which is
billionaire genius to like
yeah.
spoiled rich kid. Made his money off blood diamonds.
Exactly. Well, blood emeralds, not
Oh,
diamonds.
sorry. Yeah.
But same difference.
Good.
Not really.
No, I mean the degradation of like his people's view of him.
Yes, I agree.
Hey, I mean, whatever.
It's kind of been the
started the
theme of this
episode-
show.
We started
It's just like dark. Just how can we get darker?
Well, I was about to say, my favorite pictures of him are, of course, the one that you see all the time when he was younger, pre-hair plugs. And then, him chilling with, what's her name? Maxine. The
I don't know.
Epstein lady.
Oh, yeah, that one? That's what I thought you were talking about. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
I feel like you can't trust anybody. And this is not getting political because everybody's like, oh, Clinton, oh, Trump. It's like they both got pictures with those people. No.
yep.
No.
You know what it is? No more. What do you call it? When you meet people and not market yourself. What do I think again?
Socializing?
Social networking.
Networking was what I was thinking. But you know what? Let's even go with socializing. None of it. No more. Everybody stay home. And none of it.
Just
For
stop.
We've gone full circle. The anti-social network. Here we are.
Yep. Anti-social network. That's what we need.
Twitter.
Yep.
Burn it all down.
Just tell Matt you're gonna put it on your calendar.
Matt, we're all coming to your anti-social network.
Paul, Johnny Depp has a private island, so that won't work for me.
We trust him.
I trust him.
We trust him now. Yeah.
He spent a month in Hunter S. Thompson's basement. If you got to be pretty trusting to do some weird stuff like that, right?
I'm gonna trust him until he changes his name to Moreau.
Moreau.
The
on
island of
his
Dr.
island?
Moreau, yeah.
Right.
Although now I kind of want to see that movie.
Yeah, they'd all
with-
be
with
supermodel.
Depp. Yeah. You're like, well, we've seen Marlon Brando try it. Let's see Johnny Depp do it. He'll just be drunk the whole time.
Yeah.
Drunken pirate version of Island of Dr. Moreau.
I'm like, Still less weird than Brando's.
Brando's was weird. It was weird.
Did he not want to wear pants on that, or was that
His
Apocalypse Now or
outfit was
something?
his doing. He was, of course, it was in like very chunky Brando period.
Right.
And the Island of Dr. Moreau, that 90s movie, this is fascinating. Yeah, no, Marlon Brando, his outfit was his doing, and it's basically just like kind of a dress. It's just robes, right? Like it's
Right.
just,
Yeah. Yeah, like a
that was his
mosquito
choosing.
net, kind of almost. Yeah, it's
And
weird.
He has that little guy,
Yeah.
right? He has that little guy and the little guy was there for something, but Brando really latched on to him. And so the fact that the little guy appears in every scene dressed just like him was Brando's idea. He insisted on it.
Of course he did.
So like Brando's in that outfit and he's playing the piano. You got the little guy in the same outfit playing a little piano on the piano. That was apparently Brando's insistence.
Yeah.
So
It's only weirder that the director was there in costume because he wasn't allowed to be there. That's the only thing stranger.
Oh, that's right.
the original director
Oh, my
who
God.
got fired and ran off into the bush in Australia and on a drug trip, and then like was friends with the people on the crew, obviously. So he's in some of the scenes and makeup as an extra that the studio doesn't know about.
Can I respond? I wanted to respond real quick to the chat. I want to wear pants. I always want to wear pants, but I want each pant leg to be its own moo, and then I'm good. And it needs to have pockets.
So you basically want hakama pants.
Yes.
Pockets.
Yes.
All right.
That is exactly right.
So samurai pants.
Exactly. Samurai pants. Or somebody also called them some kind of cowboy pants. But yeah, they're basically the same thing, right? A samurai and a cowboy, except one has a gun and one has a sword.
Yeah,
Kinda,
basically. At least in cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all I know the world of. So
Yeah.
that's my view. That's the world, right?
Yeah.
I learned it through cinema.
At least Westworld.
Yep.
Yeah. Red Dead Redemption 2. I had to mention it. We couldn't touch on it. I resisted the whole episode. I played through the story. It's amazing.
Oh.
I know this is a 4-year-old game. We don't get to things on time, okay? But I finished the story and
Get used to it, people.
It's amazing. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Yep. Wait, what am I getting used to again?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm resisting urges to say inappropriate things, I think. Just the fact that we will talk about things 4 years after they are relevant. Get used to it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay,
we're
good.
we're like the ultimate time traveler show.
Yeah.
We are super timely if you have a time machine.
Yep. And we get dark.
We get dark like Primer.
Like the
Primer.
time travel movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how often, I don't think we've ever actually talked about Primer, but it's weird how often. It's been a while.
We should,
Primer comes
we should
up
almost
on
do a Primer episode at some
We
point.
should.
A primer, if you will.
the- Maddie D says, hey, just waiting for that Tekken movie.
That is such inside baseball there. You're like, you have
man.
to really be, yeah. But Paul was here for that, I'm pretty sure.
I was so baffled. I was like, wait, they're still releasing stuff on DVD?
It's like, wow.
Not Blu-ray even?
That's such a good Grawlix moment. It's got to be in the top 10 Grawlix moments of all time.
See, that's what. Hey, we're gonna do news now. This thing is like 15 years old.
And did it ever come out? I don't even remember. What was
I
the
don't
result of that? Did that movie even ever exist?
I don't know, but they should.
We found out it was old, and I don't think we ever followed up on it after that. We're like, oh, we're done talking about this now.
I think there should be a Tekken movie, and it should have one character that just does the same move over and over and over
It's
again.
a button mashing character.
Yep.
And everybody's like, God.
Didn't they kind of do that with the Mortal Kombat movie? Wasn't there a scene where they just like swept a guy over and over and over?
Maybe?
I want to say that there was a scene like that. I was like, I did that all the time.
Yeah,
Low
that
spinning
sweep.
sweep. Low spinning
Oh.
sweep. If you just kept it up, it was anybody's guess if they would ever get back into the fight.
Yeah, especially in the first one, like,
Yeah.
you could hit them over and over, and like they hadn't really refined the mechanics enough to where you could almost like stun lock them that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Always sweep the leg.
Always. Do you have a problem with that, Mr. Lawrence?
Hey.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you want to hear more, go to grawlixpodcast.com. Also, we have a Patreon. Go there at your peril, I guess.
Yeah, yes. If
We're active. We're doing something. There's stuff there. You get 60+ bonus episodes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
They're not new, but
way to sell it, Randy.
you want to support this nonsense. That's the best way.
I guess you get points for being honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Our shows are 10 years old and those ones are 20. So there you go.
By God, we'll talk Tekken with you.
Reporting news that predated our show even started. And we've been doing this for like 12 years. Wow. Well, I should have hit the broadcast right there. Well, and then just ended.
Yep.
All right. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Yep.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.